Okay, today we're going to go over an absolute value function. This is lesson 4.1. We'll go quickly through it, going over some vocabulary and then two different examples, and then we'll get into it in a little more detail the next day we have class. Okay, so the vocab that we need to do. Let me get the pen ready. Okay, the first word we need to know is absolute value. We show our absolute value with the two straight lines on each side of our variable. Okay, this is showing us the distance a number is from 0. So if I draw a number line here, you have a 0 here, and on this side, let's say this is a 2, and over here we have a -2. Both of them are equal distance away from the 0 here. Okay, this one is still 2 spaces away, this is 2 spaces away. So that's where that absolute value comes from, is that distance from the 0 point. Okay, the absolute value functions have a vertex. This is your key word here. Vertex is at a place where the two lines intersect to form their V. So as you have a shape, your vertex is the center piece right here. Okay, this is also the point that splits the graph symmetrically, which means splitting it perfectly in half. Each side is going to be the same on both sides of that line. Okay, your vertex is a point on its axis of symmetry that intersects the graph. It is located at H and K. We've already been using our H and K values to do our left and right movement and our up and down movement. Now we're going to use those specifically into an equation using absolute value. So let's look at two examples, and we're going to expand these definitions into what we need. Okay, if we need to determine an equation from a graph or from a table, what we're going to do here is we're going to pay attention to our Y values. Okay, so first thing, pay attention to the Y values. Okay, your Y values are going to be telling you where your vertex is. So as you look at it, you're trying to find that point in a table where as it hits this point, it's going to start trending back up. Okay, so if we look here in the middle, to make it easy here, the number 4 is your midpoint on this graph. You see that as it's trending downward, just like on the V, okay, you have your V, it's trending downward. Okay, it's going to hit this point, and then it's going to go in the up direction afterwards. So it goes down and up. So you're looking at where it goes down, hits a midpoint, and then starts going back up. So you know your vertex is going to be these 2 points. Okay, so down here on this question it says, what is the vertex? You can write -3 and 4. Okay, that -3 and 4 also gives you your H and your K. Just like we said from the definitions over here, your vertex is your H and K. That's where it's going to be located. So, if this is my H and this is my K, I can create my function now out of that. We know our absolute value has to have the straight line, and the X is going to be connected to the H. If it's a negative down here, it's a positive in the function, and this is positive, so it stays positive here. So you just created your function just by looking at a table. Okay, the next thing you need to be able to do is to do it from a graph. So the first thing you want to do is find your vertex. If I'm looking for my vertex, I know I'm looking for my H and my K. So that's my movements that I have away from the origin, which is right here. My origin is 0, 0. So I went 3 to the left. A 3 to the left means I went a -3. Okay? Then I went 4 up. 1, 2, 3, 4. That gives me my K value, or my Y. That's my -3, +4. Okay, that's finding my vertex, which is the point at the bottom of my V, where the two lines are intersecting each other. Now again, now that I have this here with a -3, 4, I can create my equation. I'll end up getting the same equation we had on the last slide since we use the same picture. So it'll be X plus 3 and then plus 4. Okay, so that's what it looks like with your absolute value. Answer the questions at the bottom of your WSQ. Make sure you have them all completed. If you haven't completed it, make sure you take notes and answer those questions in your notes. Real easy stuff today. We'll get into it the next day in class and expand on a little more and try a little activity. Appreciate your time. Enjoy your weekend.